is The Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year, and three-time loser, The Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on The Jason Walker Show.
It's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on The Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
The Jason Walker Show, presented by Helena Accommodations, the in-town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. Broadcasting from the Major Mortgage Man Cave, here's Jason Walker.
Happy Wednesday. It is The Jason Walker Show here inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave. As always, presented by Helena Accommodations, the in-town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. We have ourselves a big show coming up today. We are going to talk NAI power polls are out. We're going to talk high school rankings. We're going to talk Trisha Binford at Montana State. How long is she going to be there? That's what she said is coming up on this day in history, the walk-off, and a whole lot more. And we get to talk some hockey, some college hockey. Providence head coach Jeff Heimel will join us coming up here in about 10 minutes or so. Coach Heimel coaching the Argos, the second-ranked team in the West region in the the ACHA, American Collegiate Hockey Association. They have a home-and-home this weekend with fourth-ranked Montana State. They'll play Friday night in Bozeman at Haynes Pavilion, and then they'll play Saturday up in the Electric City. I get to do the TV game on Friday night from Bozeman on SWX Montana. I want you to tune in for that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and great coverage there from SWX Montana. So Coach Jeff Heimel coming up here in a little bit here on The Jason Walker Show. If you want to watch, you can. Facebook.com/The Jason Walker Show. YouTube it. Just search it. And also, you can listen. TreasureStateRadio.com. Cannot thank Emily and the gang enough for what they've done for us, getting us up and going again over the last month. And appreciate Emily and the gang. Like I said, at Treasure State Radio, if you do not have that app, you need to download it on Google or Apple, the App Store. You can also listen live, Network One Sports, thanks to Greg and his gang down there, getting us going there live. And also you can listen to any previous Jason Walker show going back to even a year and a half ago, if you would like. Also, you can check it out live on the Podbean, podbean.com, and just search The Jason Walker Show. You can email us anytime, jasonwalkersports@gmail.com, and always go to the website, jasonwalkershow.com, and give you all the information there. All right, so we're going to start today, though, by chatting about a Montana connection in a coaching that just can't seem to stay away. And not saying it's a bad thing, but Bobby Petrino is back patrolling the sidelines as he was hired today. He'll be introduced tomorrow, but he was hired today as the head football coach at Missouri State in Springfield, Missouri. It is the FCS school. And so he's stepping down. He's been at the NFL level, the NCAA level. Now he's at the FCS level, in part of the NCAA, not the FBS. He's 58, the former Helena Capital and Carroll College quarterback. He was also an assistant at Carroll. He also was an assistant at Weber State and Idaho, and was also with the NFL's Jacksonville Jaguars as an assistant. The Jaguars. He will get a contract of 5 years worth $250,000 per year. A lot different than the millions that he used to make. That's according to Yahoo Sports' Pete Thamel. And he'll be the 21st head coach for the Bears of Missouri State. Career record, 119-56 in 14 seasons. He was at Arkansas, Western Kentucky, and Louisville twice, where he coached most recently Lamar Jackson. He did not coach last season after getting fired in 2018 at Louisville. He was also with the Atlanta Falcons as a head coach for, 9 games before he quit on the team. And there was a lot of people that were unhappy with how that all went down. But he left notes in the locker room like, hey, thanks, but I'm gone. So that happened. Let's see. While he was at Arkansas, you remember this very well, he was having an affair with an employee. She used to be a volleyball player with the athletic department. He misled the school, obviously. Had a motorcycle accident that he had originally lied about, said that the girl had come, he called her to come help, and then it was found out she was actually with him. He got fired. He will succeed at Missouri Valley, or the Missouri Valley Football Conference School, Missouri State, Dave Steckel, who was 13-42 in 5 seasons. You recognize the Missouri Valley Football Conference? That is because that is where North Dakota State hangs out. And they just won an 8th national championship in the last 9 years. So that's what Coach Petrino's up against. The athletic director at Missouri State, Kyle Motes, was an associate AD at Louisville when Petrino was there for the first time in the early part of the 2000s. And you know the Petrino name, of course, here very well in Helena. Coach Bob Petrino, senior putter, great longtime coach at Carroll College before Mike Van Diest succeeded him and had the great run he did. And now it's Troy Purcell, who played under Coach Petrino. Purcell grew up with the Petrinos. And Bobby is the older brother of Idaho head football coach Paul Petrino. And, of course, relatives to Jason and Mike. Mike is, of course, an assistant basketball coach with the Grizz. Jason and his brother are out at Southeast Missouri, right? I think, or Southeast Illinois. Of course, we know about the Sampsons, the connections to their. I mean, it's a great coaching lineage between the Petrinos and the Sampsons. I believe Mark Sampson's married to one of the Petrino sisters, and then you got Kyle Sampson, and that's how it all works out. So it's all a big family, and it's a great family, and it's a family full of great, knowledgeable coaches. So we'll see if Bobby succeeds there at Missouri State. Interesting to note that Montana, the University of, will play at Missouri State on September 12th this year, the second game of the season for the Grizz. The Bears of Missouri State, 1-10 in 2019, graduated 19 seniors and all 6 of their all-conference honorees, including the starting quarterback, wide receiver, linebacker, and defensive end. So you could probably chalk that up to a Grizzly victory right now if you were handicapping that at all. Springfield, Missouri, of course, is a fantastic little town in the Ozarks. And Bobby will have, he's been, Arkansas, Ozarks, I mean, it's all connected, right? Springfield is in southwestern Missouri. They have, it's 56 degrees there right now. Wouldn't mind actually being there at the moment. It's a lot warmer here. Springfield, Missouri, we know. What was the James gang, Jesse and Frank, and that's where the James gang hung out a lot. Springfield, Missouri, robbed a lot there. Jesse James, I bring it up because he's my 8th cousin, not the bike rider dude, but the outlaw. Think about, so it's near Branson, so Bobby Petrino can go watch some great shows. I think the Oak Ridge Boys, Statler Brothers, I don't know. But also, Springfield, Missouri is the Queen City of the Ozarks. What is Helena called? The Queen City of the Rockies. So, going from one Queen City to another. There you go. There's a connection. Boom. We tie it. See how we do this? We tie it all together. It all comes full circle. That is what we do here on the Jason Walker Show. All right, so we'll see if Bobby Petrino has success at Missouri State. Probably will. He's a heck of a coach. Also wanted to bring this up as Tricia Binford, Montana State head coach for the women. Can't believe it's already been a long time. 15 years? She just signed a new 3-year deal, according to athletic director Leon Costello. She's had a great success and has not had a losing season since the 2007-2008 year, which I believe was her second or third year. But in the last 4 years, 19.5 victories on average, 20-win seasons, 2 in a row. Went to the WNIT, they won the Big Sky, and went to the NCAA where they lost at Washington, or to Washington. They're pretty good. They're 9-6 right now, sit atop the Big Sky standings with a 5-1 record. They were the preseason favorite. Coach Binford has had a great, successful career in her. Now, she's in her 15th season there. The winningest coach with 237 victories, and is the second longest tenured head coach in the Big Sky. She has 143 Big Sky Conference wins. Only Eastern Washington's Wendy Schuler, who's a heck of a coach as well, has been in the league longer. So Binford's there, and it's interesting because you think she was, I think, probably on the way out a few years ago until they started winning some Big Sky championships. So Coach Binford getting a contract extension for the next 3 years, and in Bozeman. Had a great, I loved working with her while I was down there. So her 143 Big Sky victories, by the way, trail only Schuler, who has 159, Weber State's Carla Taylor, who had 180, and I don't know if anybody's ever going to catch the man, the legend, Montana's Robin Zellwig, who had 359 Big Sky wins. So if you want to read more about it, you can go to 406mtsports.com.
Cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinner's Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients, along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinner's Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. The holidays have come and gone, and now is a good time to treat yourself to what you really wanted. A full detail for your vehicle from Auto Concepts. Right now, Auto Concepts is offering a full detail for just $195. Or maybe you want to tint those windows. Auto Concepts does that too. Get that tonneau cover or bed rug you've always wanted and add in remote start, alarms, running boards, lift kits, toppers, winches, bug guards, grill guards, and much more. Check out Auto Concepts on Facebook or visit the website autoconceptshelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back. Jason Walker Show inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave. As always, presented by Helena Accommodations, the in-town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. Still to come, that's what she said on this day in history. We'll check in as well with the NAIA scoreboard, and new rankings are out for top 25. I wanted you to vote on our poll, too. Go to Jason Walker Show on Facebook, or you can tweet us at J Walker Show or at J Walker Sports or at Jason Walker Show. Who wins tonight's top 20 battle down in the Magic City? Number 17 Carroll women or the 20th ranked Providence women? You can vote there. And while you're voting, you can listen to the sweet dulcet tones of our next guest. He is the head coach of the University of Providence Argo hockey team, a good friend of ours. and he joins us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. Jeff Heimel, how are you, Coach?
Good, Jason. How are you?
I am wonderful. It is great to be back talking hockey with you because before you took the job at Providence, you were the head coach of the Great Falls Americans, and of course Helena Bighorns fans know them all too well, as does the NE3HL, but didn't get a chance to talk to you since you took the new job. It's been going good, though, it looks like.
Yeah, it's been going great. Really feel like it's been a good fit here, so really cool to be a part of it.
And, of course, what's the biggest difference between coaching the junior league 16 to 20-year-old kids or the high school kids that are 18 to 22?
Yeah, well, the schedule is quite a bit less demanding. I mean, I remember playing almost 50 games for the junior team as opposed to about 30 here in college. So that's definitely a nicer adjustment, just being home a little bit more. But obviously, we didn't really deal with school when we were doing the junior team. Kids would take occasional classes and things like that. But the demand of the student athlete is one that is a big deal. So just working through that with the kids and trying to put school first, obviously, and develop a good athlete and good person as well. There's a lot going on there. So
well, with that, you obviously checked on grades a little bit with the junior team, but you're really in control of making sure these guys are getting their grades and getting their homework done on the college level because it directly comes right back on the head coach.
Absolutely, yeah. We definitely have regular conversations with the kids about kind of how things are going, and thankfully, though, we have an excellent support staff here at the school. I mean, we've got layers of accountability and different people that are involved in helping our athletes be successful. So I'm glad I'm not going into it alone. It definitely would have been harder to do that. So I'm really appreciative of the support staff that we have around us here.
You've been in Great Falls for 8 years now, I think, and it's a great town, and they love their hockey up there. They really do.
They do, yeah. It's awesome, and I wasn't quite sure how going from the Americans that would translate over into the college piece, but I mean, our first game said so much about just the support in the community. Everyone showed up in a big way, and continue to support the team and hockey in general. I know the Americans just get a great following as well. And so it's been really cool just to have some of those long-term hockey voices in town just really be supportive. And even as we were starting, just occasional notes here and there, like, hey, we hope things are going well. Let us know we can help. I mean, it just was it was cool to see all that play out. And really, it's been really great to be part of this community.
Jeff Heimel joining us, the head coach of the University of Providence on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. Before we continue, I got to ask you this. What would look good behind me is, because we're on TV, on Facebook as well, but a Providence hockey sweater would look beautiful hanging up in the man cave here.
Yeah, I think I might be able to help you with that, actually.
I think that would be great. Get one up, hanging up, and I think that would be good. We'll talk about that more. But Jeff Heimel, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. All right, let's talk about this year's team. You guys are, I think, 16-6 with an overtime loss, and ranked second in the West region, which is a very tough region in the ACHA. It really is. I mean, you look at some of these teams, and the fact that you guys are ranked second says a lot about the style of play.
Yeah, it's been great. And obviously, you draw it up, starting a new team, you don't necessarily expect it to go that well so early on, but it's just been really cool to see our kids compete and, seeing how things played out last year and coming into this not knowing really what to expect with the level of competition. I mean, we haven't had an easy night all year, and it's just really cool to be able to show up every single night against ranked teams. I mean, this last half schedule for us, we're playing ranked teams every weekend, and so it's really cool, and nothing's given it to you, so it really keeps you on your toes as a coach to have to, prepare well and not really take nights off, or, you can lose a game, so.
And you got some great matchups this weekend with Montana State at home and home, which we'll talk about here in a second, but when you look at your team, there's not, you look at the stats, and I know there's more than just stats, but when you look at points, you don't have anybody above 30, but you've got 5 or 6 guys in the 20s. This is a team that shares the puck, and it looks like doesn't really care who gets the credit.
No, you're exactly right. And that's been the coolest part is, we've had nights where we've maybe expected, or you think that someone would maybe be someone that would be contributing, and maybe they're they're not that night, and someone else steps up to the plate and gets the job done. I mean, I remember last weekend against Botno, we had a kid that I think he had 2 goals all year and just stepped up and made a big play. And I think it's been cool to see that happen. We have great leadership, and I know that they've driven the ship behind the scenes there, but we really have a good, solid team in that respect. So to see everyone contributing, it's been great. You know, we obviously really improved defensively from the year before. I think that was a huge piece recruiting in the off season last year, is trying to get a little bit better in the net and on the back end. So, you know, the combination of just kind of having a deep lineup where guys are chipping in every night, it's really been fun to coach.
Definitely, when you look at it, and, you know, give me some names, because I can see the stats. I can see, like, Cooper Page leading the way with 28 points, and, you know, he's got 12 goals, and you got guys, 4 or 5 guys that have double-figure goals. But to me, when you look at it, what's impressive is, you know, Cooper with the 12 goals but 16 assists, and Jacob Stevenson, 10 and 17, 20 assists for Cody Hendrickson. I mean, and then Levi Anderson, who has 11 and 11. And again, it goes back to they share the puck so well and share the credit, but it says a lot when you have that many guys with that many double-doubles.
For sure, and it's helped us too because we've had injuries at different times during the year. So knowing that, you know, you don't have to rely on one guy to get it done, and that we've got a number of guys that are coming to play every night, that's been big. And, you know, you mentioned Levi, he's a defenseman, right? So being able to create offense from your back end, that's been great on the power play too, really giving us some good opportunities there. So, yeah, the depth has been helpful. We did not have a lot of depth our first year, and that's been, you know, that's been able to really not only produce more, but at the same time just keep our energy up. You know, we're able to keep the shift short, and obviously you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 lines that are going. You know, you really can I guess pressure your opponent well when you do it like that. So.
Jeff Heimel, joining us here, Jason Walker Show, the head coach of the Argos at the University of Providence on the hockey team. You mentioned the 4 lines, and I know that, you know, coaches are don't wanting, you know, they don't want to say that the 4th line is the weakest, but when you're building a program, it's hard to get 4 lines that are steady across the board. When you separate your 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th lines, what's the biggest weakness?
I think going into starting a new team, people not knowing us very well, you know, I think the biggest difference is just sort of like the experience level. You look at some of these teams that have been around for, you know, probably, 10 plus years, you know, they've got this established core of junior players that have played, you know, they played 3-4 years out of high school already. Mm-hmm. You know, we have a lot of junior players, but we also took a lot of players that, you know, were fresh out of high school and things like that. So I think our biggest, the biggest difference between, say, the guys are getting a few more minutes and not are just the experience level. But they have all the ability in the world, and I think just kind of, you know, sort of coaching those guys along and bringing them up. And I think the leadership from those older guys has helped those guys get better too. And then just skill level too. You know, we've got some guys that came in our first year that have done really well, but just maybe we're just a step below from a skill perspective. But it's been cool to see those kids even just buy in and work hard and also accept the role, knowing that maybe they're not being asked to do certain things and that they're okay with you know, with playing a role. And I think that's been successful for us when you get kids that, you know, maybe want to do something more than you're asking them to do, and then there's this division here and some strife in the locker room. That's where you can have problems, but everyone's just willing to do their part, and you know, that's been great.
Got to ask you about Montana State. You got the home and home Friday night at Haynes Pavilion, and then Saturday back in the Electric City at the Iceplex. But this is a team that, you know, their first line is as good as anybody, and I've seen them up close and personal. But when you look at Zach Lane, Ryan Padden, and Ryan Perius, what those 3 do is unbelievable for Montana State hockey. And they, you know, they have the same record. They've got 2 losses. 2 overtime losses. But when you look at those 3, how do you defend that front line of Montana State?
Yeah, well, thankfully we played them 6 times last year, so I'm not walking into it completely blind. I mean, those guys did really well, and obviously, like you said, are as good as any line in the league, right? So I think the important thing is to manage the puck, right? I think good forwards like that, when they don't have the puck, they can't really do anything. So just being able to possess the puck first off, and sort of attack attack the way we're going to attack and not give away easy turnovers, that's going to hopefully keep those guys off the rush a little bit. But the big thing is just taking away their time and space. I mean, you're going to give those guys time and not back check and not, gap up and obviously take away space, entering the zone, things like that. They're going to make plays and they're going to score goals. So just making sure that we have numbers back. We're not giving up odd man rushes. We're not giving them too much space. And that really just starts with, not turning the puck over as much so they don't have it, but really just working hard on the back end, good gap control, good back pressure, and obviously, goalies showing up to make a couple saves here and there too never hurts either.
Yeah, definitely. Jeff Heimel, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show. A couple final questions for you, but what was the biggest, not the difference between the kids and their age, but recruiting-wise, recruiting from the juniors to now recruiting to college, because you're recruiting a different type of player, a little bit older now.
You are, yeah. And obviously, you're when you recruit junior players, you've got an established, an older base of kids, and obviously you bring that into a new college environment. I think just making sure they have the support that they need because they've been out of school for a little bit is extremely important. So vetting that out, just trying to vet out kind of their habits and things like that, really important. Piece of it. And the other piece is just knowing sort of that there might be a demographic that we would attract from a junior player and then others that we won't, and just trying to be, I guess, smart about where we recruit, where we don't, maybe developing some niche markets. I know we went up to Canada last year with it being so close and really had some success, having some kids from Calgary come down. So I think the biggest thing is just trying to attract good students first, and good kids and good character, and hopefully they'll help build your program from there.
All right, settle this because you're a hockey guy, and I've heard it pronounced both ways. Is it Calgary or Calgary?
Yeah, I say Calgary. So, and I've heard our kids from Calgary say that as well. So hopefully they're not listening and saying that I did that wrong. Although they can't be too mad at me because I took them to lunch our last road trip and got them some poutine. So I'm in their good graces. I'm in their good graces at the moment. They have their gravy and their fries and all those good things. And so I don't know. They can't be mad at me if I screw it up.
I like it. Jeff Heimel, the Providence head coach. Man, we appreciate it. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Friday and catching up as that game will be on SWX from Haynes Pavilion in Bozeman. And I get to do the call with Matt Softich. But looking forward to moving forward and chatting with you and getting you on more. How's that?
Yeah, I can't wait. It'll be a lot of fun. Obviously, appreciate the coverage, and looking forward to a fun weekend.
I'll send you my address for that. Hang that sweater up. It'll look really, really good in this man cave. I'm telling you.
Perfect. Yeah, send it over.
All right. Thanks, Coach. We'll see you Friday.
Thank you, Jason. See ya.
That is head coach of the Argos hockey team at the University of Providence, Jeff Heimel. He is a fantastic guy. I love talking with him. I miss talking with him. We got to do a lot of talking about hockey back in the old days when I was at radio and working both Helena and Great Falls and covering the Americans and the Bighorns. It was a great rivalry, still is. But now that Coach Heimel's moved over to Providence, he's doing well. And you got the Argos ranked second in the West region in the American Collegiate Hockey Association, the ACHA. And I'm telling you, this Friday night and Saturday night, in Bozeman Friday, in Great Falls Saturday, if you want to see two of the best hockey college teams go at it, come on down to either place or both. Make the trip to Bozeman and then head on up to the Electric City. It's going to be a lot of fun. And SWX Montana will have the coverage, and myself along with Matt Softich will be on the call on Friday night. I think 7:30 the puck will drop. But check your local listings, and looking forward. Thanks to Coach Heimel. Man, he is so much fun, and I can't wait to get that sweater hung up in here. Jason Walker Show here inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave is presented by Helen Accommodations, the in-town 5-star extended stay residences. Still to come, we're going to have That's What She Said. Also going to check in with the Frontier NAIA polls. Also, don't forget to vote on our Twitter poll, and you can Facebook your answer as well. Who wins tonight's top 20 battle in the Frontier? On the women's side, you've got 17th ranked Carroll at number 20 Rocky, both 3-1 in the Frontier, and both are going to head to the national tournament on their own merits. But this is going to be a great game. The first of 3 this year, and the first 2 are going to be in Billings, and then the last one, I believe, in the PE Center. But this is going to be a battle tonight.
And first team to 50 is probably going to win because it's going to be a defensive battle. We'll talk more about that here in a second. So don't forget to vote on our poll at Jason Walker Show, at JWalker Sports on the Twitter. You can Facebook us as well. We'll check in with some wrestling and some basketball recaps here in a second. But support for the Jason Walker Show comes from Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. And, you know, you hear stories from friends. You've talked to guys. You've heard this. They cut themselves. They nick themselves, whatever. You saw the movie She's Out of My League, right? And the guy, the buddy was like, hey, you got the hair gun. You got this trimmed up. This needs to be trimmed up. And it does. And with Valentine's Day, guys, coming up, head to toe, you've got to look good. So the Lawnmower 2.0 from Manscaped, it's redesigned. It is proprietary skin-safe technology. This trimmer will not nick. It will not snag. And manscaping accidents, guys, are a thing of the past. And you also can get this lotion that soothes afterwards. It's unbelievable. And the crop preserver as well, an anti-chafing deodorant and moisturizer. Because think about it. You already put deodorant on your armpits. So you got to put deodorant on the smelliest part of your body. You get 20% off and free shipping with the code WALKER20 at manscaped.com. Always use the right tools for the job. I'm telling you, your balls are going to thank you. Get 20% off free shipping with the code WALKER20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code WALKER20. Jason Walker Show continuing, and we just talked to Providence Argo head coach of hockey, Jeff Heimel, and when you look at this weekend's matchup between second-ranked Providence, fourth-ranked Montana State, they're both 16-6. The Cats have 35 points. The Argos have 33 overall because the Cats with a couple of OT wins, or a couple of ties rather, and then no overtime losses. And the Argos with an overtime loss. So that's how that works out. But this is going to be a great matchup. And like I said, they're both ranked in the top 5 of the West region. And it's a legit hockey, man. It's fun. I didn't know much about it until November when I got to call the first game that Montana State played Western Washington. It's good. You know, the juniors are fun. College hockey is much better. University of Mary ranked number 1, Providence 2 in the West. Weber State's 3rd, Montana State 4, and then University of Oregon is in 5th in the ACHA Division II West Region rankings that came out in the end of December. So I'll get a new update soon. But when you look at this game, I'm telling you, it's going to be super awesome. Friday night in Bozeman, Saturday night in Great Falls, and I highly suggest you check them out. All right, there was some wrestling last night, and speaking of the University of Providence, before we get to the wrestling last night, Sean Roberts, who went 5-0 at the national duels at Kentucky last weekend, was named the Cascade Conference Red Lion Men's Wrestler of the Week. Roberts is ranked 3rd nationally at 149, and he got 3 matches. He won over top-ranked opponents and led the Argos to a 7th-place finish last week at Louisville. Roberts said, quote, "It shows I had a good week. This is a good stepping stone into what I want to accomplish this year. I want to continue to have fun and wrestle hard. I want to have the right attitude and the right effort every time, then try and win every match," end quote. Roberts defeated Jalen Soto of Southeastern 11-2. He beat number 8 Tanner Abbas of Grandview, and Grandview's got like the best wrestling squad in the NAI over the last decade. Beat Abbas 9-3. Beat 18th ranked Connor Gimson of Indiana Tech 9-0. Austin Ramsey of Lindsey Wilson 6-0, and 12th ranked Andreas Bond of Southeastern 9-0. The Argos traveled to Missouri this weekend for the Missouri Valley Invite in Marshall. So the Argos have some fantastic wrestlers, as does MSU Northern. And man, Sean Roberts, congratulations! That's a great honor there. Butte last night was at home, and they took it to Helena High, 65-0. There were 5 pins, and they've now won back-to-back duels. Butte has. They beat Big Sky last week, 33-30, but a sweep. 65-zip. And their Coach Corey Johnston said in 406mtsports.com article, quote, "You can't do much better than 0 losses." End quote. I love that. That is true. He is not making that up. You cannot do any better than losing nothing. They opened up the match with back-to-back pins as they got going. And then the third pin, they had 5 pins overall, and obviously some decisions. But that is, Helena and head coach Sam Bogart have some growing to do. They've graduated a lot of great wrestlers over the last couple of times, or a couple of years. But, man, everybody's going to be heading over now this weekend, Friday and Saturday, to the Rocky Mountain Classic in Missoula. The Jugbeck is one of the fantastic wrestling tournaments of anywhere in northwestern United States, and maybe even in the whole country. But the Rocky Mountain Classic, Missoula, Friday, Saturday, and Helena High, Capital, Butte, a lot of the big schools, Great Falls, obviously, a lot of them will be there. That's a fantastic, fantastic tournament. So there you go. Let's see. What else were we going to chat about here? I think we got most of it because, yeah. Got a Facebook question. Does the University of Montana have a hockey team? That is a really good question. I don't think they do. Let's look at the standings. Let's look back at the rankings. Let's go to the divisions. I do not believe they do. Let's go to the West. Here we go. If anybody knows, let me know. University, no, they do not. According to ACHA, Division II, I do not see the University of Montana hockey. So there you go. Thanks, Stan, for your question. And you can always email your questions, jasonwalkersports@gmail.com. You can Facebook at any time. You can also tweet us anytime at jwalkersports, also at Jason Walker Show on the Twitter. And by the way, vote on our poll. We have poll up. Who wins tonight in the top 20 showdown down at the Billings? And by the way, it's the first game that the Battling Bears of Rocky will get to play, as well as Carroll, on the new floor at the Fortin Center. I think it's called First Interstate Court, after playing most of the games at First Interstate Arena at Metro Park. But who wins, Carroll or Rocky? Number 17, Saints women, the 20th ranked Rocky women. And so far, almost 73% say the Carroll women will win tonight. These games, Carroll went 3-1 last year against Rocky, including a semifinal win in the Frontier playoffs. These games have been close. These games have had some overtimes, and these games are low scoring. If a team gets to 60, it'll be a shock. Both of these defenses are very good, and it's going to be a great matchup tonight down there in the Magic City. In fact, when you look at it, both are 3-1 in the Frontier. And we're going to talk more about the rankings here in a second. But the Saints scoring 70.25 points per game, Rocky 71.93. The scoring margin for Rocky plus 11.8, for the Saints plus 13.8. Field goals percentage, the Saints 43%, Rocky 40%. 3-point field goals, Saints 31.5%, Rocky 27%. And Rocky's a little bit better free throw shooting team. This is the women's game because they're both ranked. We'll tell you the new rankings for the men coming up here in a little bit. Both teams great rebounding teams. And the Saints actually, I think, 4th in the country in rebound defense. So it's going to be a great game down there tonight in tip-off at about 5:30 at the Fortin Center down there in the Magic City. We'll take a quick break. We come back. We're going to have That's What She Said. We're going to also do On This Day in History, the walk-off, and a whole lot more. It's still to come. It is the Jason Walker Show inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave, and it is presented by Helena Accommodations, the in-town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. The holidays have come and gone, and now is a good time to treat yourself to what you really wanted. A full detail for your vehicle from Auto Concepts. Right now, Auto Concepts is offering a full detail for just $195. Or maybe you want to tint those windows. Auto Concepts does that too. Get that tonneau cover or bed rug you've always wanted and add in remote start, alarms, running boards, lift kits, toppers, winches, bug guards, grill guards, and much more. Check out Auto Concepts on Facebook or visit the website autoconceptshelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinners Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinners Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show, Major Mortgage Man Cave. On a Wednesday, that's what she said, coming up in just a moment. On this day in sports history, you know, we didn't have very many yesterday. We had a little bit more today. We'll check in with that. Also, tell you what's coming up tomorrow. By the way, no show on Friday. We will not be here Friday. So make plans. No show Friday. That is because we are going to be in Bozeman getting ready for the television broadcast of Montana State and the University of Providence hockey. And appreciate Jeff Heimel for joining us a little bit earlier in the show, and can't wait to watch the Argos play. It's going to be a fantastic hockey game, and I know I've said that a bunch, but it is, because college hockey is really fun to watch. It's a good time. The one game I got to do for Montana State, they beat Western Washington 9-1. And I mean, it was over in the first period. That's how good it was. But it's a lot of fun. I'll tell you what, though, it's cold. Haynes Pavilion is cold. Now, I've never been to an NHL hockey game, but you look and you see people, you know, wearing shirts and like short sleeve shirts and stuff. And I know that, you know, it's a little bit insulated in the building. I know Haynes Pavilion is not. But it's cold. Like the last game I did, it was like, I don't know, 35, 40 outside. But inside, it was cold. I had my warm boots on, my warm socks. I had like long johns with my jeans and then snow pants. And then like 4 layers on top, because you're on TV, so you got to look nice. So you can't wear a big heavy coat when you're on camera, which is like for the open or the intermission interviews. You got the space heater on a chair sitting right next to you to warm up. It's cold, and it's going to be even colder on Friday night at Haynes Pavilion, because it's going to be January cold, not November, which is a big difference. I'll be more bundled up. I'll be more prepared for Haynes Pavilion. It's going to be cold, but it's going to be fun, and they get a great crowd.
in Bozeman, as they do in Great Falls. So two great college hockey teams going at it, both Friday night and Saturday night. Friday night in Bozeman, Saturday night in Great Falls. All right, I wanted to get to our NAIA top 25 polls were released today, and we'll start with the men. The defending national champs are 15-0, and they're ranked number 1, Georgetown, Kentucky. In second, Mid-America Christian out of Oklahoma moved up one spot to number 2. They're also 15-0. You have William Penn, Iowa at number 3. Westmont, California at number 4. LSU Shreveport is number 5. In 6th, Dalton State, Georgia. Their coach is good. 7th, the Masters. They dropped from 2nd down to 7th. Dropping from 7th to 8th, 15-1 Providence Argos and Steve Keller. Their lone loss, Saturday night to Carroll. Carroll jumps from 23rd to 9th. One spot behind Providence. The Saints 13-3, but the lone unbeaten in the Frontier. Providence had 167 total votes. Carroll had 166. That's how close it is. John Brown, Arkansas rounds out the top 10. Number 12, LC State, 15-1. Its lone loss, Carroll College back in December. And that is it for Frontier Conference teams that are ranked inside the top 25. In fact, nobody else receiving votes in the men's top 25. Just Providence, Carroll, and LC State. So there you go. Northern, which had started the year highly ranked, is not even receiving votes. And they're 2-2 in the Frontier. All right, NAIA women's top 25. Moving to number 1. We have a new number 1. Moving to number 1, the Masters out of California, 18-0. They got 5 first-place votes to just outpoint by 1 Oklahoma City, which had 4 first-place votes, 13-0. They stay at number 2. Previous number 1, Campbellsville, Kentucky, 18-1, moves to number 3 after losing once since December. Westmont stays at 4. Vanguard stays at 5. The highest-ranked Frontier Conference women's team is Carroll at 17th, and the Saints moved up from number 25. Number 18, MSU Northern, which fell 7 spots from number 11. You've got Rocky hold steady at number 20. Western moved from 24th to 22nd, the defending champs, 10-5. Tied for the most losses inside the top 25 with Freed Hardeman, which is really good. Man, they had some shooters last year. Our Lady of the Lake and Carroll all have 5 losses, along with Western. And then you have LC State plummeting 12 spots from 13 to 25. They also have 5 losses. The Warriors do. And so you still have 5 Frontier Conference teams ranked inside the top 25. Providence and Tech no longer receiving votes. And the women's top 25. So, today's Twitter poll. Who wins tonight? 17th ranked Carroll, 20th ranked Rocky. You can vote. You got a couple of minutes left at Jay Walker Sports and at Jason Walker Show on the Twitter. You can also Facebook it. And Howard, I have not seen yet a AA wrestling poll. I apologize. I know you're anxiously awaiting one, but I still haven't seen one. And, oh, hey, I just got it. There we go. I'm glad you brought it up. Here we go. All right, here's your AA wrestling poll according to the coaches. Senior, Great Falls, Bozeman, Big Sky, Butte, and West, your top 6. Senior, Great Falls, Bozeman, Big Sky, Butte, and West. That is 6. Individually ranked, 103, Hunter Ketchum of Skyview is number 1. At 113, Carter Schmidt of Belgrade is ranked first. 120, Colton Martello of CMR. At 126, you have Drake Rhodes of West. 132, Capitals Carson DeRozier is number 1, the defending state champ. I think he's 20-1 this year. 138, Bozeman's Leaf Schroeder. Brock Rodriguez of Bozeman, 145. Hunter Meinzen of Big Sky, 152, is number 1. Dougie Swanson of Big Sky, number 1. I think I brought this up last week, but when Dougie Swanson wins, does he do the Dougie off the mat? Maybe he waits only for pins. I would like to see that. If anybody has video, or if anybody knows Dougie Swanson at Missoula Big Sky, next time he gets a pin,
Maybe we'll just do a first period pin. Next time Dougie Swans gets first period pin, I want video sent to the Jason Walker Show of Dougie doing the Dougie after he wins. John Mears of Belgrade ranked 170, number one. Noah Kovic of Capital, 182, number one. Elijah Davis, 205 from Great Falls. And Ethan DeRoche of Great Falls at 285. So there is your top wrestlers in the Double A coaches poll. Howard, thank you for bringing that up. And that was great. I'm glad we were able to get that in. All right, this is Wednesday. It is always a fun time, and it is time to do this.
We always hear from the guys. What about the ladies? Time for That's What She Said. Brought to you by Dinner's Done Right.
Dinner's Done Right, the soup, salad, and nacho bar. Check them out, 1212 Cedar in Helena. It is great, great food, and it is fresh. It is so good. Homemade dressings. It's just, I wish I could have the salad bar right now. I might have to go tomorrow and get the Dinner's Done Right salad. But make sure you get the soup, salad, and nacho bar. It is dinnersdoneright.com for full menus and more information. All right, so earlier this week we caught up with Paige Barch, who is named the Montana Gatorade Player of the Year, and wanted to revisit part of our conversation as part of That's What She Said.
It's because you were named today as the Montana Gatorade Volleyball Player of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What's that mean for you?
It means it's been like a goal of mine for, I don't know, as long as I can remember. So it was really exciting for me, and I was just, I don't know, I was ecstatic when I found out.
Did you have any idea that it was happening?
I mean, I knew I got nominated, but I wasn't really sure. I didn't really think I was going to win because the other girls nominated are super good volleyball players, so I was excited when I found out.
Yeah, but you know that usually the winner goes to whoever won state, and you guys won state for a second straight year.
Yes, but there was two of my other teammates on there, so it was a little bit scary, but I don't know.
Who else was nominated?
Audrey Hofer, my setter, and then my outside, Sarah Ashley.
Okay, well, both very good. Didn't Audrey win it last year?
Yes, she did.
So is she okay with you winning and her not being back-to-back?
I think so. I think we're just both happy that we both won one.
You haven't talked to her yet?
Well, I have, but she just seemed upset.
Oh, well, that's good. Well, high school girls are good at hiding stuff, so emotions. No, congratulations. Oh, this is really cool. And, you guys have had quite the dominating run the last 2 years on the volleyball court. Great coach with Rebecca Cleveland, but you guys are so, you played so many games together. I think it just translates into the state tournament that you guys feel you can't be beat. Is that right?
Yes, we've been playing with each other. Well, me, Audrey, and Danny have been playing with each other since sixth grade. So we really know how to play well with each other, and we understand kind of what the other ones are doing. So it makes it really fun.
All right, so I got to ask: is Danny upset about this?
No, I think she's more happy for me.
Does that mean that she has to win next year, then? Because you can't win 2 in a row.
I guess so. Or to have to basketball.
This is awesome. Paige Barch joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline on the Jason Walker Show. A couple final questions, but three-peat next year, what's it going to take?
I don't know. I think we can accomplish it. We were losing a lot, some of our really good players, but we also have some good players coming up. So I think we'll just have to work together and learn how to play with the new players, but I think it should be really fun, and it'll be an exciting year and see where we go.
All right, what is your best?
That was Paige Barch joining us earlier this week on the Jason Walker Show. That's What She Said, brought to you by Dinner's Done Right. Make sure you go to Dinner's Done Right and check out the soup, salad, and nacho bar. Dinner's Done Right, 1212 Cedar. Paige is the Montana Volleyball Gatorade Player of the Year and helped out with the Capital girls getting a big win last night on the road as the new number one team in high school basketball. In fact, I think we have a little bit of time we can run through that. Is Capital number one in Double A. You've got Hellgate 2, Sentinel 3, Great Falls 4, West 5. In Class A, Billings Central, Havre, Hardin, Columbia Falls, and Browning. This is the 406mtsports.com power poll. Class B, Loyola, Harlem, Big Timber, Whitehall, and Forsyth. Class C, Fort Benton, Roy Winifred, Belt, Charlo,
and Millstone. That is your top 5 across the classifications for girls high school. On the boys' side, Class AA, Hellgate, Sentinel, each 7-0. Great Falls, West, and Capital. Class A, Hardin, Central, Butte, Central. Hamilton, Browning, Libby. Class B, Lodgegrass, Huntley, Colstrip, Three Forks, Fairfield. And in Class C, Manhattan Christian, Twin, Fort Benton, Millstone, and Belt. Those are your top 5s. All right, let's run through on this day in sports history because we've had a couple of good ones today. And 1892, on this date in 1892, basketball rules were first published in Triangle Magazine, written by James Naismith. 1934, Babe Ruth, nearing the end of his career, signed a 1-year contract with the Yankees for $35,000, a pay cut of $17,000 from the year before. 1942, the Chicago Cubs dropped plans to install lights at Wrigley Field because of the military's need for materials. 35 years later, lights were installed at Wrigley. And also 1942, U.S. President FDR sent his famed green light letter to the commissioner of baseball, Judge Landis, Kennesaw Mountain Landis, encouraging baseball to continue play during World War II. 1950, Red Wings rookie goalie Terry Sawchuk recorded his first of 115 career NHL shutouts. I'm going to bring that back in a second. 1957, on this date, the Brooklyn Dodgers extended a 5-year lease on Ebbets Field by signing a new 3-year lease with the real estate developer, and then they blew him off and moved to LA the next year. And cannot root for the Dodgers. 1986, I'm going to bring back the Terry Sawchuk 115 career shutouts. Many people consider Patrick Waugh to be the greatest hockey goaltender. Well, on this date, 1986, then with Montreal, as a rookie, he recorded the first of his 66 career NHL shutouts. He had 66, and people consider him one of the best of all time. Terry Sawchuk had 115 career NHL shutouts. I can guarantee you we will not see a shutout Friday night when the Argos and the Bobcats play at Hames Pavilion in ACHA action. Happy birthday would have been on this date, 1891. Ray Chapman, American baseball player, was born. He played for the Cleveland Indians. To this day, the only player to die from an injury received during a major league game. He got hit in the head. Born in Beaver Dam, Kentucky. He died in 1920. 1953, happy birthday to Randy White, the great Dallas Cowboy. Was born in Pittsburgh. 1979, Drew Brees was born on this date in Austin, Texas. And on this date, 1980, baseball player Matt Holliday was born in Stillwater, Oklahoma. So there is that's on this day in history. All right, that gives us time to do. Gotta turn the music back up. This.
Yeah. We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
The walk-off is presented by Cafe Zydeco, 625 Euclid in Helena. Got gift certificates to give away to the next couple of people that sign up and register on the Jason Walker website, jasonwalkershow.com. Go all the way down to the bottom, sign up for email list, and it's not to scare you, not to spam you, not to do any of that. We just want to let you know what's coming up on the Jason Walker Show. So if you go there now and sign up, I'll send you a couple of Cafe Zydeco gift cards. The walk-off, big games tonight. You got Carroll men and women both at Rocky. The women tipping off in about a half hour down there at the Fortin Center. And you should probably wrap up and tell you who wins the poll, and that is Carroll. Most of you think Carroll women ranked 17th will beat number 20 Rocky tonight, 77 to 23%. It's going to be a good game no matter what, I can tell you that. And make sure that you can watch that on the Rocky YouTube page and live stream that. It's going to be a good one tonight down there in the Magic City. And then, of course, the Carroll men, who are now ranked 9th, will take on the Rocky men in the Fortin Center. First games on the new court, First Interstate Court, I believe, down there in Billings. All right. Thanks to Jeff Heimel for joining us, and thanks to all of our great sponsors. And if you have any questions, you can email me anytime at jasonwalkersports@gmail.com. Tomorrow, our final show of the week, and we'll also some prizes. See you tomorrow at 4, Jason Walker Show. Here, bye.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.